up-to-the-minute news on local and international maritime trade. It's Nimasa this week. Hello and welcome. My name is Iretiola Doyle. And now for some really great news. The efforts of the Ziakede Patrick Akpogorukemi-led administration of Nimasa to develop human capacity for our nation's maritime sector is indeed yielding fruit, as the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program cadets are passing out in flying colors. In virtually all the institutions where the NSDP cadets are studying, a few of them have emerged as the best overall academic student. Now, in appreciation of the success story of the NSDP scheme and in celebrating the brilliance of the graduating students, Nimasa organized a grand reception in honor of the first batch of cadets to graduate from the Arab Academy of Science, Technology and Maritime Transport in Alexandria, Egypt. It was indeed a night of fun and a celebration of excellence. Our waterways correspondent, Amanda Akpan, has the details.
Nigeria's dream of becoming a major maritime hub by the year 2020 is finally becoming a reality. With the realization of the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program set up by Nimasa to address the short to medium-term manpower requirements of the maritime sector, with a view to creating a large pool of Nigerian seafarers to meet local demands and also contributes to the manpower needs of international shipping. Since the commencement of the NSDP program in 2009, over 2,000 cadets have undergone training in maritime professional courses in various IMO-accredited maritime universities abroad. Through the 40-60 contributory ratio by Nimasa and the state governments of Ondo, Ekiti, Benue and Ebonyi states, the first set of NSDP cadets gained admission into the Arab Academy for Science, Technology and Maritime Transport in Alexandria, Egypt, to study marine engineering and nautical sciences, respectively. 4 years after, the vision of the NSDP program has become a success story. The first set of cadets graduated from the Arab Academy for Science, Technology and Maritime Transport in flying colors, having completed their sea-time training and received their certificates of competence. They bagged degrees in marine engineering and nautical science. Speaking at the reception in honor of the graduating students, the CEO Nimasa, Mr. Ziakede Patrick Akpogorukemi, spoke on the reasons for the full sponsorship of the NSDP program by the agency.
Our vision is precise and simple. It's to create composite manpower today, tomorrow, to handle our cabotage trade and to export seafarers to any part of the world, such as the situation in the Philippines, such as the situation in South Korea, and other maritime involved nations. We have to go to towns and villages, the mass media, the internet, to inform our people, to inform Nigerians that this is a program. Come and subscribe to it. This is not a phantom program. This is not intended to defraud any person. This is intended to bring out the potentials of Nigeria.
Reiterating the agency's commitment to provide a pool of qualified and well-trained professionals to man the nation's maritime industry, the Director General Nimasa assured stakeholders of the agency's readiness to provide sea-time training for the cadets after their academic training.
Embedded and entrenched in this program is the sea-time component. And we have taken a vow and a promise that any student that we have sent out of this country, we are going to find resources to provide sea-time training for that student.
While congratulating the students for doing the nation proud during their training in Egypt, Mr. Akpogorukemi urged other states who are yet to key into the NSDP project to do so, and thanked the 4 states for believing in the mandate of Nimasa.
This is to show that Nigerians, anywhere they are, they can excel. The students have done wonderfully well. They've made Nigerians proud, and we are going to continue with this program.
The coordinator of the NSDP program, Mrs. Irene McFoy, attributed the success of the NSDP project to the doggedness of the Director General of Nimasa, Mr. Ziakede Patrick Akpobulakaimi. She, however, praised the Nigerian students for their outstanding performance in Egypt.
Nigerians, as a matter of fact, are brilliant people. You know, we're not just giants of Africa, but we are intellectually sound. We have a good foundation. Our schools are equal to the task. And our students proved that, because in their sets, the first 10 best students were all Nigerians. The same thing in the Philippines right now. The students are leading the class. Even in the United Kingdom, our students are doing very well.
A maritime expert, Otumba Kunle Folari, extolled the effort of the Director General of Nimasa for encouraging the development of capacity in the maritime sector. Otumba Kunle Folari believes that the seafarers trade will remit more income for Nigeria's economy.
That the size of the Nigerian maritime industry will be bigger than anyone, in fact, in the whole of Africa. Over 900 nautical miles natural endowment, 200 nautical miles economic zone. The economy of West Africa, 60% to 70% is domiciled in Nigeria. Every year, over 5,400 vessels call at Nigerian seaports. Nigeria import over 150 million metric tons of cargo. Are you now saying that there is no career for these people? There is career and they are going to be rewarded.
He then advised the graduates to be more committed and passion-driven while discharging their responsibilities to the nation. Speaking on behalf of the parents of the graduating students, Mr. Felix Eyo describes this laudable achievement by Nimasa and the various state governments as fruitful.
As a parent, we are fully happy. We are very happy with the federal government of Nigeria. The collaboration between our state government and the federal government is yielding fruits, and that is why we have come here to celebrate today. We deeply appreciate what the state is doing. We call on other states that have not keyed into the program to do same, because this program, if it eventually materializes or eventually takes full ground, it will even take the place of oil as a major revenue yielding venture for Nigeria.
The high point of the event was the presentation of cash awards to the best overall students in nautical science and marine engineering. Speaking on behalf of the graduating students, one of the distinguished students spoke on some of the motivating factors that assisted in his coming out tops in his course. He however thanked the federal government, Nimasa, and the various state governments that keyed into the NSDP projects.
Saw the effort, the vision of my great country and the effort of the Director General and my various states, and so I had to do what I had to do to make sure that their dreams come true. I'm very appreciative to the federal government and the Nigerian Maritime Administration, the DGs, and my state government. Without them, this program won't be possible.
With the realization of the NSDP program, Nimasa is indeed alive to its responsibilities in developing the composite manpower for the nation's maritime sector. Marine noticed withdrawal of maritime services from port facilities found to be non-compliant with the provisions of the International Ship and Port Facility Security ISPS Code. Pursuant to the agency's regulatory mandate as a designated authority for the implementation of the International Ship and Port Facility Security ISPS Code in Nigeria, and in line with its functions, the general public is hereby informed as follows: that having exhausted all intermediate measures to compel deficient port facilities to address identified areas of non-compliance with the ISPS code, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa has commenced the withdrawal of maritime services from such port facilities, terminals and jetties. That the withdrawal of maritime services, which implies the stoppage of ship calls at such facilities, shall remain in place until the designated authority is satisfied that minimum requirements for compliance with the ISPS code have been met. All port facility owners, Operators are therefore advised and should be guided accordingly. For further information or clarification, please contact Secretary ICIC via email isps.icic@nimasa.gov.ng or call the number 0803 497 5876. Signed, Management.
The National Task Force on Ballast Water Management Convention has endorsed the manual and draft resolution for the implementation of the International Convention of the Control of Ships' Ballast Water and Sediment here in Nigeria. Now, this draft resolution was endorsed at the 7th meeting of the National Task Force, which held in Lagos recently. Our correspondent, Rachel Ubani, reports.
If there's a vessel that comes into Nigeria and does
in continuation of the activities of the National Task Force on the preparation of Nigeria to give full and complete effect to the provisions of the International Convention on the Control of Ships' Ballast Water and Sediments 2004 and the Merchant Shipping Regulation 2012, the Technical and Scientific Subcommittee was inaugurated and directed to develop an implementation and enforcement manual and review the roadmap to enhance the activities of the National Task Force through the lead agency, Nimasa. The 7th meeting of the National Task Force held recently in Lagos was therefore very crucial because the endorsed manual and draft resolution on Ballast Water Management Convention would be forwarded to the International Maritime Organization for ratification. The chairman of the National Task Force, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of Nimasa, Mr. Ziakede Patrick Akpobulukemi, represented by the Head Marine Environment Management Department, Mr. Babatunde Adewale, stresses on the importance of the meeting.
The meeting for those is purposely to make sure that we are signed this, that we are all agreed for the past 7-8 meetings we have been having on ballast water management, and also to see what is the way forward. And told you to make sure that what we have in our roadmap, I will keep it on. Because by next year, probably before June next year, 2015, the balanced water management will be enforced by IMO.
The Deputy Director of Marine Environment Management Department, Mrs. Susan Asagwara, speaks on the implication of the endorsement.
Nigeria is one of the lead partnering countries. So, because Nigeria ratified this convention as number 8 to ratify it. So if we have ratified, it's necessary that we implement. And to implement now, we have to gather others to work together with us. So an action plan has been developed for all of us to work at. So today is a final meeting where we drew the resolutions to act.
The regional coordinator for the International Maritime Organization, IMO, for West and Central Africa, Captain Dallas Lai, explains the significance.
The implication of this is that once they have the strategy in place, they know how to implement the convention to achieve the purpose of the convention. That is the prevention of this introduction of the species.
Members made their comments and suggestions.
We put something in the law so that when the convention comes into play, we are already there. It's just being proactive. I don't think the coming into force of the convention should make us tarry.
For the coming to force of the convention is to give nations opportunity to do their work. So it does not stop us from having already the layout of what should be is in the convention. So what is giving nations is to allow them to be able to prepare well ahead. So if you are a fast nation and you now get your documents right by having it in your law, beautiful.
The chairman of the Technical Scientific Subcommittee, Engineer Olu Akinsaji, speaks on the way forward.
Is implementation of the report that my committee, the Technical and Scientific Subcommittee, has prepared, which has been a report of of combining all the consultants, international consultants' reports into one document that will guide the lead agency into implementing. I am not too sure that this will be a final meeting because there may be need to update the report. There is also the issue of awareness and training in the report, and scientific research for baseline innovation and to update them and all that.
The signing of the resolution and subsequent ratification by the IMO is a major milestone that would pave the way for the implementation of the Ballast Water Management Convention in Nigeria. This would ultimately promote a healthier environment and sustainable economic growth. From the venue of the National Task Force meeting, I am Rachel Alegbo Ubani reporting for Nimasa this week.
When a law says all those that will man the vessels that operate in our domestic trade should be Nigerians, and you have the death of seafarers, you know that you already have a challenge. And that is why we're aggressively pumping monies into training programs, into the seafarers training programs. You know that in the interim, there's a very big challenge because you can't just go overnight and manufacture these people. In the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, the problems associated with lack of seafarers should be a thing of the past. At least in Africa, we should beat our chest and say we have the greatest number of manpower in the maritime industry.
Nimasa this week, the authoritative voice in the maritime sector.
Nimasa's mandate to secure a safe and clean marine environment recently received a shot in the arm with the establishment of the Climate Observatory Centers in Lagos and Port Harcourt, respectively. This revelation was made by Nimasa's Executive Director, Maritime Safety and Shipping Development, Captain Ezekiel Bala Agaba, while receiving Dr. Anthony Anufrom, the Director General of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, during his courtesy visit to Nimasa's corporate headquarters in Apapa, Lagos, recently. Now, this visit is preparatory to the signing of a memorandum of understanding between both agencies. Our waterways correspondent, Amanda Akban, has the details.
Climate change has become a front runner among topical global issues of today. The importance of weather to shipping cannot be overemphasized as ships are lost due to bad weather on the high sea. Ships pounded by huge waves could break up and cause marine disasters after spilling thousands of liters of fuel into the sea. To this end, Nimasa, the agency responsible for ensuring safety and security of maritime activities in the nation's maritime domain, is collaborating with the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET to ensure the effective protection of the marine environment and to upgrade the nation's capability in navigation, search and rescue endeavors. In furtherance to the Nimasa-NIMET collaboration, which started some years ago, the Director General of NIMET, Dr. Anthony Anufrom, led a team on a courtesy visit to the head office of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa to discuss preparations towards the official sign-up of the Memorandum of Understanding between the two agencies. On hand to welcome the Director General NIMET and his team was the Executive Director Maritime Safety and Shipping Development, Captain Ezekiel Bala Agaba, who stood in for the CEO Nimasa, Mr. Ziakede Patrick Akpoblakaimi. Briefing the visiting delegation from NIMET on the importance of meteorological services to the maritime business, Captain Agaba informed them on the Climate Observatory Center Nimasa had set up. He however stated that the agency staff needed to acquire training on the proper utilization of the observatory equipment.
A unit in MRCC observatory, and I think there was also a plan to also establish one in Port Harcourt. The one in Kiriki three have been established, but we've still not received the training and the commissioning of the place. I think part of the activities of the MOU is for NIMET to train our officers so that we can man the place.
Assuring Nimasa of NIMET's readiness to train its staff for the swift takeoff of the observatory center set up by Nimasa, Mr. Anofarum says the official signing of the MOU will be a national achievement that will yield huge benefits for both parties and the nation as a whole.
For us to, for myself and my colleague, the DG President, to agree what date do we sign off, where is it going to be, is it here or in Abuja, how are we going to do it? Because I think it's a very big national achievement, if you ask me. Because we are striving to enthrone international best practices. That is what we are striving to do.
The Director General NIMET used the opportunity to speak on the partnership between NIMET and the UK Met Office, which is one of the most advanced meteorological services in the world. Nimasa NIMET MOU Committee Chairman and the Director Shipping Development Nimasa, Captain Weridi Enisa, expressed satisfaction on the level of progress made so far, as both agencies had worked tirelessly to see that the official signing of the Memorandum of Understanding became a reality. He either gave account on the reasons behind the need for the Memorandum of Understanding to be signed between the two agencies.
The reason Nimasa went into this MOU is not because we can. It is an international responsibility. As we speak, and as a maritime administration, it is an IMO requirement that you must have the meteorological organizations partnership to be able to provide full safety. Even more so, taking on search and rescue responsibility and the recent signing of the MOU with the Nigerian Air Force, there is no way Nimasa can send out anybody out there without consulting with NIMET.
Accurate weather information and forecasting is a vital ingredient for navigation and passage planning. Quality maritime weather forecast will ensure international safety standards, which is a major component for safe shipping environments. Nimasa, as a maritime administration, is committed to the safety of lives and properties on the nation's water. As such, the agency is continually alive to its responsibilities in ensuring the development of the nation's shipping sector.
Again, we've gone trawling through our email box to bring you answers to questions that we have determined to be some of the most frequently asked on our show. And this week, we begin like this.
Our frequently asked question for this week is, what are the flag duties of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa? The Executive Director, Maritime Safety and Shipping Development, Captain Ezekiel Bala Agaba, gives us the answer.
First of all, we need to understand what flagging is all about. The Nimasa is established under the Act to carry out flag duties. What it means is that all the vessels that are flagged under the Nigerian registry is the responsibility of Nimasa to track. And then flagging is like identity of a vessel. Then a vessel that carries the Nigerian flag is like part of the territory of the country. Anything that happens on board is attributed to the country. So we also need to put a system in place to make sure that all our flag vessels are tracked and things, regulations are properly followed.
Nimasa, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. For Obonga shipping registration, no. Nimasa, commercial shipping, no. Nimasa, maritime labor, Nimasa.
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, the nation's maritime watchdog, established to promote maritime safety, security, commercial shipping, and regulate maritime pollution. Nimasa is well positioned and committed to take the development and standardization of Nigeria's maritime industry to greater heights. Are you interested in the local or international commercial shipping business or in seafaring and do not know what to do or how to go about it? Nimasa will guide and see you through. Sea pirates, oil thieves, and all forms of dubious and illegal business on Nigeria's maritime domain have no hiding place because Nimasa's eagle eyes will locate or catch up with you. For Nimasa, it is zero tolerance to sea pollution as all abandoned ships and wrecks on Nigeria's waterways which pose danger to sea transportation will be cleared. Nimasa, promoting safe and secure maritime environment.
And so we come to the end of this week's edition of our show, but there's no way we're going to close the show today without saying a big congratulations to all our graduating cadets. May your flag continue to fly high. Now, as always, Nimasa this week is interactive. We want to respond to your comments, your questions, and yes, I say this every week, even sometimes your criticisms. All you need to do is send an email to the address currently showing on your screen. Now, we're going to be here, same time, same station next week. Until then, we're wishing you smooth sailing and bon voyage.